I'm Rob Menzies, welcome back to my channel, and today we have a bit of a musical treat for you. I'm going to be doing all of the chapters down below, so do keep an eye on those so you can skip forward and backs to the bits that you want to have a look at. But let's guide you through what are we going to be doing for you today. Well, I'm going to be talking to you a bit about my Ibanez GRX70 guitar, of which I've done lots of upgrades on and I want to tell you all about it. What I'm then going to be doing is I'm going to be using Amplitube CE on basically this older iPhone 6S phone, so I'm just using an old phone to make it worthwhile, and I do have my iRig HD2 device as well, which is going to connect everything together. Now what we're basically going to do is we're going to do some guitar playing. I'm going to show you the Amplitube software, how to download it and get it onto your phone. We're then going to show you some of the settings of that and guide you through how we're going to use it. And then what we're going to do is move on and do some live playing, and I'm going to show you how you can live play completely mobile. So we're going to have lots of fun with that as well. Okay, so to start off, I would like to talk to you about this wonderful Ibanez GRX70 and a couple of other letters after the end of it to tell you that it's blue guitar. So I decided that what I would do is basically go and buy a cheaper, more budget Ibanez guitar that I really liked and liked the feel of and liked the play of, and then do quite a bit of upgrades to it. And actually I would recommend you do the same. Now, if you'd like to know a little bit more about this, I'll link it down below and also try and put a link up here for you so you can go and have another look. But let me quickly run through what I did. So basically started off by doing a basic setup on the strings. So get the height right, make sure there's no fret buzz. Local guitar shop did a great job, so thank you to them. What we then did is really started getting to town on the pickups on this guitar. So we decided to get rid of the stock Infinity Ibanez pickups, which are kind of okay, they're all right, but if you really want to get that tonal flexibility, be able to use the tone knob a lot more and really hear that change, and also get an amazing amount of sustain, then moving on to what I've done, I would highly recommend. So I've actually gone for 3 DiMarzio pickups that I've put in here. So we've got a True Velvet, an Air Norton, and a Super Distortion that we have as the 3 pickups that we've now got in this guitar. So again, had that rewired, had the switch changed because it just kind of worked better with the new ones. But ultimately, if you looked at this guitar, you probably wouldn't even notice that there was any difference. But trust me, when you play it, you really do. So that was the upgrade I did on this guitar. What I also do as well is a couple of little add-ons. I had a competition that I entered going back a few years ago with an amazing guitarist called Sophie Lloyd. If you're watching this, then you're obviously looking at it on YouTube. Go and check her out, all of her stuff is amazing. But went into a competition, basically managed to win the competition, got loads and loads of extra stuff. Again, I'll put a link up here and a link down below if you want to go and see what I won. Go have a look, there was tons of it, it was amazing. But yeah, basically this is a fret string buzz, or it stops the buzz that you get on strings. So if you're playing a solo and you don't want any of the strings to ring out, then you can basically put this over part of the strings, be playing away down here and no noise coming from the strings at all, or you can just slide it up and move it out of the way. And also we've got this lovely little tuner on the top as well. So that's basically the guitar. Okay, so we're now going to move on and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the software, and we're going to show you through a little bit of the setup here. So let's try and guide you through. So let's start off, what have we got? I've got my older iPhone 6S that I'm no longer using. This was an old phone, I just basically wiped it down, wasn't planning on using it. Quite small storage on it as well, I think it was only 16 gigabyte storage on it. So it was an older phone and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to use that for what I'm going to do with Amplitube. Now I've got that dedicated to it. Now the bit that's really cool that we'll come on to is actually once you've downloaded the Amplitube software basically through Wi-Fi, you can then use it without any internet connectivity at all, which is really good. So actually when we get onto the playing part of this video, we're going to move this outside because we don't need any connectivity, but to download it you do obviously need Wi-Fi. Now as well as that, we've got the iRig HD2. So how does this one work? How's that all going to work in? So we have a cable that we can pull out and take in, that's in the top. there's actually two cables that come with it. One goes into a PC and one goes into a phone. I've made a video about the one that goes into the PC. I will link it up here and down below. Go and check that out. There's quite a lot of people looking at that. But what do we have? That one goes into the bottom of my phone, and I'll plug that one in a minute. This one is for your headphones. We'll definitely be using that today, and what I'll end up doing is actually taking a split out of here. So one will be for me to listen to, and the other one I'll actually put into the GoPro when I start playing, so you can hear what I hear in my headphones. What you've then got at the bottom is two pieces here. So the guitar is going to be plugged in, so we will have guitar lead that will go into here, and that will plug it in. If we wanted to, rather than coming out of the headphones, what we could do is do a line out to an amp. So if you're gigging, then you can do this in exactly the same way, have the headphones out the top and have the other piece coming out at the bottom so that you can go into an amp. What you then have is a switch that gives you a choice on whether you're going to just go straight through and you're not going to have any effects on it, or you can have the effects on. The volume that is there for your headphones, which is handy to have, and then we've got a gain on here, and this little light changes colour as we're playing to basically tell us if we are doing the right thing and if the volumes are right. So it just lets us sort that one out. So let's guide you through what we have here on the phone, and I'll try to do this so that you don't get the shine off my light. First thing we need to do is go into the App Store. When we go into the App Store, let's do a little search, and we can type in amp. If we could type amp the tube, and it comes up for me, and then we wait for that to come up. Gives us a couple of choices, and the one that we are interested in is Amplitube CS. So that's the one that we see here, and we can click on that one and it tells us all about it. Now again, it is completely free. What you do find is that there are some in-app purchases, so if you want to buy extra pedals, extra amps, loads of extra things, then you can pay for it. But the standard one's actually free, and if you've got an account that you will automatically have by basically buying the iRig, then it means you're going to be good to go. So surprise surprise, I've already downloaded it. Here we go. Let's turn this one on, and it comes in and shows you the fact that you are now coming into Amplitube, and you can use this for obviously a bass or a guitar, and I believe you can also set it up so that you have pedals that click into this one as well. So I've actually got a few of my own things that I've already set up, but I'm going to kind of guide you through some of the basics. So you have some stuff here at the top that you can start using. So tools, as we come into that one, it is a tuner for you so that you can actually use that tuner, and you can also get a tap tempo. So again, you can kind of use that one. We then can come in and we can do different stomp pedals. So I've got a couple of pedals that I've already set up, but I can click the little plus at the top, and then it basically starts saying to us what do you want to do. So I've got two of these that are already populated. Let's say I wanted to populate the third one. I can click on the third one, and it then brings you into all of the different pedals that you can then go and choose. Now, little tip for you, as much as you can see there's tons and tons in here, anything that's got a little plus next to it, basically you need to go buy. So if I look at the top, which is the Amplitube pedal, you'll notice all of these different pedals that we've got in here, none of them have a plus next to them, so we're okay to go use them. And there is a ton. I'm not going to go through and review each one of these now, we'll be here till Christmas, but there is tons and tons of stuff on here. And again, if you're looking for that very specific tone, if you want that slash setup, then again you can go in here and you can start buying all of the stuff that goes with it. Now again, in the same way, we can then come into the amp. If I click on the little plus here, exactly the same thing. Huge amount of choice, but yet again, buy the bits that you want to actually use. I'm going to tell you, and you will hear in a little while, that actually using the free stuff, brilliant, to be honest. So I've made myself a lovely clean tone. I've basically set that one up using the metal amp and a few distorted tones, and it really is good. So yeah, I just stick to the standard. You can then come into the cabinet, and as you may see along the top here, you've then got loads of different cabinets that you can go and use, exactly the same as everything else. Again, if you want the specific things, go by, otherwise stick to the standard one. And then what you can also have is effects at the end. So this is kind of effects after the actual amp. So again, things like delays and reverbs and those kind of things can always be quite handy on those to go and do. So those are the setups that you can then go and do. One of the other things that you can do is then start coming in and actually building in quite handy record and loop feature. So again, the lovely looper that we've got here, you've probably seen it done by several music artists where they will record a short piece of music, then replay it and loop it, and then you can play over the top of the loop. That's basically what this one's about. The one that I absolutely love, and I basically use this all of the time, we're going to use this today, is basically the drum machine. So when you come in, you've got several different things that you can start using. You've got different grooves and what you want. Again, as I look at the top, the ones that I tend to use is rock. Again, if you want to start coming into some of these extras, so if I wanted a blues one, for example, what you do tend to find is it will then come in and say, you have chosen something that you need to pay for. But actually, if you stick to some of the basics, which I tend to do, which is a nice rock drum beat, then again, you can do that. You can change the speed up the top here by touching it, and it then allows you to set what speed you want the drum beat at. You can choose between the main drum beats, intros, outros, fills, variations. Basically, it's brilliant. You can build your own drum beat. And then at the end here, we've then got a nice little recorder, so we can start looking at actually going in and recording everything that you are doing. And again, you can start coming into this one, and if I come up the top here, I can then actually start seeing the different channels, and I can build at the top line here my drum track, and then I can also build my own track underneath it so that I can then start recording. So there is an absolute ton of stuff in here, and it just keeps on going and going. So again, if I'm touched down the bottom here, I'm coming into the guitar tuner. Again, this is showing inputs and output levels, and it's actually picking up here my voice that's coming in. So we can do that one. We can then come into our recordings as well, so we've got that. So loads and loads and loads of different stuff that we can actually start using here, and it just goes on and on and on. So for me, the main bit that I do really like to use, and I will just talk to you a little bit about it, is if I come back and click on these three double dots at the bottom here, then I can click on it once and it starts coming into presets, click on it again and it comes back out to the setups that we're actually doing. Now what I've done, if I click on these little pluses, is I've gone in user presets, I've created Rob Zone, and within Rob Zone I have created 4 different ones. So you can see you've got an edit and a save at the top, so you basically get the setting you want and you come in and save it. So now what I've actually done here is created these 4. So I've got a clean tone, I've got a metal tone, I've got a chorus, and I've got a flanger. Now the bit that I really like, and where this works so amazingly well, is you can then go into what called live. So in live we can then see the different presets. So let's say I want to be on my metal tone. It gives me my metal tone. What it also does though is shows you what is in that preset. So that one's showing me that I've got a noise filter, I've got the distortion on, I've got the metal amp, that's the cabinet, and then after it I've got a couple of other pedals which aren't actually turned on. If I then come over to Rob's chorus, then same setup at the front, but what we can actually see is I've got the chorus after the amp, so it's actually coming in afterwards because it just gave me a better tone. And similar thing with the flanger, you can see the flangers on next to it, so I've just set those up. So as you're playing live, you're just basically able to come and tap on it, you swap over to the presets, and it's basically like having a pedal board on your phone, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, one last little bit before we head outside. I just want to confirm the configuration for you and how this is working. So we've got guitar lead here, obviously going to be playing guitar, coming in here to guitar. I've then put a splitter on the microphone jack. One of these is going to go out into my ears on my nice little ear set. The other one I'm going to use a lead that's currently being used for the mic that you're hearing me on, but that will plug into the other side. We've then got the output comes around and comes into the phone, and then the Amplitube piece of software is going to give us all of the tones that you're then going to be hearing. So again, look at those timestamps and check out the different bits. I'm going to do different tones, different pickups, and yeah, let you hear what you think of it. So what we're going to be doing today, here for you I have my Ibanez G. Now, if you've gone and clicked on the links and you've gone away to go and have a look at my other video, you will notice that actually I was having a little bit of a problem with the Super Distortion, and in particular when we were using kind of position 4 in the selector. Do you know what? All of this is a load of old shit.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please remember to not only like the video but also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos like this in the future. Thanks again for watching, and see you again soon.